Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man being a PS4 exclusive in Marvel's Avengers. If you're new to the channel, I do daily Marvel videos, so be sure to subscribe to never miss out. Now let's get started. On Monday, developer Crystal Dynamics announced that Spider-Man will be coming to Marvel's Avengers sometime next year, but only on PS4 and PS5, and fans were understandably upset. Now, studio co-head Scot Amos has explained the reasoning behind the exclusivity deal, and while he could have easily dodged the issue entirely by saying something like, "We don't comment on the details of business deals with our hardware partners," Amos instead decided to go for it in an interview with ComicBook.com, giving the most confusing response possible, where he talked a lot but didn't really say much, saying so the beauty of Spider-Man and what Spider-Man represents as a character and as a world is, again, it comes back to the relationship with PlayStation and Marvel. We happen to be, once you can execute and deliver, when it comes down to choices of where and what Spider-Man can be, that's a relationship question that PlayStation absolutely has the rights to. That, as you guys know, with Sony's ownership there, and Marvel with Sony saying, hey, this is something we can do, this is something we can do on this platform. And so what we do as creators is say, this is an opportunity that we can make something unique and fun and awesome that you just talked about Black Widow, and to be able to have that fun experience. So we love the idea of being able to bring this character to the PlayStation players. As far as everybody goes, we just announced Hawkeye less than a week ago. We have 2 characters announced within a matter of 5 days. The future is bright. People will get fixated on one thing, as opposed to, oh by the way, you're gonna have hundreds of hours of content and years of storylines coming ahead of us, and new worlds and regions and new heroes, and more stuff we haven't even announced yet. Despite the exclusivity of one hero, Marvel's Avengers is a game for everyone, so fans shouldn't get too down on this one exclusive character. But I really do think people will look at this and say, yeah, okay, we get that. We can understand the business behind that. But in general, we're making this game for everybody. We want this to be the place you get to play those superhero fantasies out with your Avengers team that continue growing with new characters you ain't even guessed at yet, that are gonna come to this roster down the road, and new regions as well. So I'm very excited for what the future holds for everybody on all platforms. Now this is coming straight from ComicBook.com, who interviewed him, and as you can tell, this doesn't make much sense, at least not in the beginning. And what took him 344 words to say can be summed up in Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and you shouldn't focus on one character, because we just announced Hawkeye, and there's a ton of other characters and content coming in the future. And when you break it down, it does make sense. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, which is why we got Spider-Man PS4, and soon we'll get Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man PS5. However, I understand why people would be angry in an Avengers game to be limited by their console, and he definitely could have made this much more clear and concise. But on the bright side for PS4 players, Wccftech.com caught up with the game's creative designer Shaun Escayg and combat director Vince Napoli, and they explain how Spidey will fit into the game, with Wccftech asking, many of those angry fans have also pointed out that you won't be able to meaningfully include Spider-Man in the ongoing story, since he can't appear at all on PC, Xbox, or Stadia. Can you comment on that? And Shaun Escayg said, without obviously giving any spoilers, the window where you'll see our version of Spider-Man will fit into the story. Again, I have to obviously dance around it because I can't speak of it, but just know that this is our Spider-Man. He'll be in our story and will fit into that world, sort of in the gap that happened on A-Day and between then and now. Even the villains that support will kind of speak of how he belongs to this world and how long he lives in this world. Then Vince Napoli said Spider-Man is an addition to the arc and progression of the main story as well. There was no swapping or anything else in that line. We've got our plan, we've got our heroes that are coming out, and the stories and the challenges and the gameplay escalation that we've planned out. That's all continuing as planned, and then just on top of all that stuff, we've also got Spider-Man now, and you know, he's weaving into that. That's the key. There's no swapping or changing anything to kind of accommodate that. He's gotta fit within the massive plan and all that stuff we've already got. It's like Sony went, hey, can you add this as sort of a cherry on top of that? But he doesn't affect or change that in any way. That plan is still moving forward as originally planned and conceived with all the original expansion stuff in mind. Now I know that this interview is rather confusing as well, but what they're ultimately saying is that Spider-Man will have his own arc in Marvel's Avengers, where the heroes and even the villains will interact with and acknowledge him. However, it'll be extra and won't affect the gameplay experience of players on other consoles or remove anything major from the game. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you agree with having Spider-Man stay exclusive to PS4, or should everyone be able to play as Peter Parker? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.